What up, Crypto Warriors? It's Ultra Crypto back at it again. Today is Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. Nothing in life is free, even love. Sometimes you have to pay the price so that you can understand the true value. Everything has a price, but even though everything has a price, not everyone understands the true value. Sometimes you just have to get burned to understand what you got yourself into. Let's get into it. In COVID-19 stimulus, U.S. Congress eyes digital dollar to send aid to the unbanked. Now, here we are. Democrats in the United States House of Representatives look to implement the digital dollar to streamline payments to U.S. citizens outside of the traditional financial system. A digital dollar for direct payments to families. A draft of the legislation circulating as of March 23rd, yesterday, proposes the creation of digital wallets for U.S. citizens to be maintained by the Federal Reserve within a section entitled, quote unquote, direct stimulus payments for families. The section envisions $2,000 monthly payments to every adult earning less than $75,000 a year, at which points the payments taper off. These payments would last until the economy recovers. Now remember, nothing is free, people. Nothing in life is free. We're going to get burned on the back end. Trust me. Now, don't get me wrong. I will be accepting that $2,000. We will be getting burned on the back end. Yes, there's something has to be done for people hurting right now. And I definitely understand that, and I can empathize with them. And I am one of those people hurting right now. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. At the same time, us getting this this currency, this digital currency, because it's not money. It's not true sound money. It's just the currency. I'm not going to get into that. I digress. But this currency that's being not even printed, that's just digits on a computer screen. Where did they even come up with it? But before I even get into all of that, for them to have digital wallet for the 330 million people in the United States, let's just say half of them are adults 18 and above of working age, right? So we'll just say 150 million people. This means that they've been working on a digital wallet for a while. This means that they've been working on their CBDC, their central bank digital currency, for a while. This means that they've had it for a while. This means that the government, again, has been lying to us, because remember, the government is not a private entity. The Federal Reserve is a private entity, all right? But the government itself is a representation for the public, so they need to be an open book. Citizens should be private, governments are public. This is why we vote them in, so we can see what they're doing, so they could represent us. Anyway, this means that they've been working on it, using our taxpayer money to work on a digital currency, to work on a digital wallet. It's been tested already. It's been not marketed, but they're going to market it now, because this is just a start. That means they've tested it. They ran through the beta phase. They ran through the bugs and the hiccups that they think that might have happened or might happen. All right, they ran through all the tests already. And how long have they been testing it? How long have they been doing these things with our taxpayer money? Because they had to pay programmers to program and code these wallets. They had to get people specifically to code in blockchain. Again, if you want to learn how to code in blockchain and build something in blockchain, there is a link in the description below. That means, and these people aren't cheap to come by. Even if they're paying them at a government salary, this is high six-figure salaries. All right, well over $100,000 a year. So again, when did they do this? How long have they been doing this? These are the questions we need to be asking these representatives. How long have they've had this system in place? but people won't ask because they're just worried about getting their $2,000 currency, or I almost said check, because it won't even be a check. It'll just be a wallet that you open up, I assume, with your social security number or something, right? So who knows? The massive stimulus package and current gridlock. And what I have highlighted here is, I'll just read the sentence. The bill is massive, with all extant versions clocking in at well over 1,000 pages. It doesn't take 1,000 pages for a bill to come up with the idea for a digital wallet. You just write the one the one pager and that's it. Bitcoin's white paper was only 9 pages. So what else are they hiding within those 1,000 that 1,000 pages? What else are they hiding? I'll tell you what else they're hiding. The fact that they'll be monitoring us and using draconian laws like they did after 9/11. All right, the Patriot Act type of laws. These are the type of stuff that's going to be hidden within those 1,000 pages. And again, who really and truly have the time to read 1,000 pages of laws and basically, just laws and legal mumbo jumbo to try to understand what they're trying to hide from us? Not your average citizen. I don't, right? I know that they have people out there that dig through this stuff and they get off on reading this kind of stuff, but your average citizen don't. I love Bitcoin, I love crypto, and I love finance, but sometimes this shit is dry as hell. It's really dry, and for me to even read 5 pages, I have to read it multiple times because it's just dry information. It's not enticing to me. So imagine trying to read through 1,000 pages. All right, and it says, and aiming to distribute upwards of $1.8 trillion. Where is this money coming from? Or sorry, where is this currency coming from? Yes, I know that the Federal Reserve said that they have an infinite amount of cash. Ridiculous. So next sentence I'm reading here is, as of close of business on March 23rd, Speaker Pelosi was expected to present a counteroffer in the form of a bill laying out $2.5 trillion in stimulus funding. Again, where is this money coming from? And I know that they're going back and forth with their offers and counteroffers, and they're trying to make sure that the big companies and like the airlines and things like that nature, if they do take the stimulus, that they are protecting their employees, which again I am totally 100% on board with. But again, where's this money coming from? And what else is hidden within those 1,000 pages? Like I retweeted something the other day where they're trying to enact some draconian type laws within the stimulus package. But people aren't paying attention to it because we're hurting right now. These are the times when they come up with their crazy laws to monitor us, to for our own protection, so to speak. Because that's what they'll always say, is for our own protection. But what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. That they'll have the laws, but they won't be the ones abiding by those laws. That them and their families don't have to abide by those laws. And we see that every time with bankers. We see that every time with these politicians. Again, we had a couple of politicians the other day sold off their stocks 2 weeks prior to the stock markets crashing because they were privy to information about the coronavirus. Next, another country. I almost said company. It might as well be a company, right? Because countries aren't really governments anymore. They're companies. Alipay patents reveal more details about China's forthcoming CBDC. In the past month, so think about that. In the past month, what's been happening within the past month? What has been happening to the world within the past month, 2 months? So in the past month, Chinese payments platform Alipay has disclosed a number of patents relating to and revealing more details on China's planned central bank digital currency, CBDC, the digital yuan. Now, let me just say shout out to the gentlemen of crypto. All right, those guys call out the CBDC years ago, back in like late 2017, early 2018, when I think this current publication try to normalize the term CBDC, and now it's normal. Now it's normal among us in the crypto space, and it's going to be even more normal within your average everyday citizens. All right, so here, Alipay to be secondary issuer of China's CBDC. However, the most important revelation is how the digital currency can be traced, needing the functionality of a blockchain-based currency despite not relying on blockchain technology itself. These aren't blockchain technologies. They're not open for everyone to see what's happening. They're not open source for anyone to see what the code is, to see what the underlying program is. They aren't. Now, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is open source, and anyone could participate in the network. These networks are going to be closed networks, so they're not blockchain. So don't let them fool you into thinking that these are blockchain, because they aren't. Point blank, period. You see, by following the sorted execution instructions list back, transactions can be traced back for the entire life cycle of the CBDC. So if I'm the first person in the transaction, and then I don't know, I'll give my son his allowance or whatever, right? Give one of my sons their allowance, and then they go to the store, they buy something with it. They're tracking that currency the whole time. They're tracking it the whole time. 10 years down the road, say for instance, one of my sons, my youngest son, I give him, he's 6. I give him like $5 for doing chores or cleaning up his toilet. I don't know, whatever. 10, 20 years down the road, now they could say, well, they could basically come back to see who was the first person in that transaction. So 10 when he starts working or whatever the case is, they could say, well, where'd you get this money from? Or, oh, we should tax you on this money, or whatever the case is. The whole point is they could trace the whole thing back to the very first transaction, just like how Bitcoin is. You could trace everything back to the very first transaction, to the Genesis block. Again, these aren't blockchains. They'll say it's a blockchain, but it isn't a blockchain because it's closed loop, and the only people that have access to it will be the people that work at Alipay and the government. All right. As Cointelegraph reported, Chinese citizens' behavior is already monitored outside of CBDC use in everyday life, creating a social score, that's in quotes, allowing certain privileges and freedoms. So now they're saying that this CBDC is probably going to be based on a social score. So, you'll be able to spend your money more freely if you have a higher social score, so to speak. Identity information listed ranges from ID cards, bank cards, mobile phone numbers to biometric data such as fingerprints, bite marks, and DNA. Bite marks? What the hell? Wow. So there you have it, man. We have two countries coming out with their CBDC, and they, it's happening within this stressful time. It's happening within this time of distress. It's happening within this time where people are saying we're not accepting cash, right? Because nobody wants to accept cash now because of coronavirus. Okay, nobody wants to touch cash and exchange cash in fear of getting that virus. But in China, they already are on mostly a mobile payment system already. And even here in the United States, the majority of people don't use cash. Only a certain sector of the population use checks, and everyone is using some form of digital payment via a tap and go, via their mobile phone, their credit cards, debit cards, things of that nature, or they're swiping or inserting their debit or credit cards. Okay, so everyone around the world is used to having some form of digital currency to make payments on a daily basis. Last but not least, we have the MtGox story. All right, so everything is starting to come out. I'm here stuttering because I'm getting all hyped. Everything is starting to come out around the same time. And was it planned? So let me just get straight to the point. Bitcoin halving is happening in a couple of weeks, and now we're seeing that everyone is pushing, or everything is leading up to the Bitcoin halving. It is like they're trying to distract from people noticing the halving. So we have this worldwide crisis, and I keep saying companies, countries coming out with their CBDCs, and now we have the MtGox situation coming out again, where they're having a meeting, and after all, the unfortunate victims of this exchange have been waiting for more than 6 years for compensation. We have here that previous offers have been rejected many times, so they try to buy them out. So the initial offer was $755 per BTC. This was dropped to $600 and then rose to $1,300 last month. Again, within the last month, these things are starting to come out, right? This, and quote unquote, this is the best offer yet. Now, at the time when MtGox went down, if you guys don't know what MtGox is, if you're new to crypto, new to Bitcoin, just search up MtGox, MtGox. MtGox, was Magic the Gathering trading or online exchange, and it was basically a trading card exchange, which they use in the early days of Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin for fiat. All right, so it got hacked. They lost a lot of Bitcoin. Now people are trying. This was like back in 2014. Now people are trying to get hold. They're trying to get their money back. Not their money back. They're trying to get their Bitcoin back, because back then Bitcoin was trading at around $850 per Bitcoin before the hack. Now Bitcoin is at $6,000 per Bitcoin. I don't want $1,300. If this was me, if I had Bitcoin, a lot of people had multiple Bitcoin on the exchange. This is why I always take not your coins, or not your keys, not your coins. Meaning, if your coins are on exchange, you're leaving yourself at the hands at being a risk at a third party. Being at risk at getting your Bitcoin hacked, and not the Bitcoin itself, but the exchange being hacked and your Bitcoin and other cryptos being stolen. Now we have this $850 at the price at the time when this was hacked, and hackers stole the Bitcoins. Remember, Bitcoin itself can't be hacked. The network is secure. But now they're trying to offer them $1,300 per Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin has forked a gazillion times since then. We had the Bitcoin Cash fork. We have the Bitcoin. So from the Bitcoin Cash itself, it was forked to Bitcoin SV. So that's 3 different types of Bitcoins right there. Then you have Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Green, Bitcoin Red, Bitcoin Dark, Bitcoin Private. You have all these different forks of Bitcoin, and they're not going to give them their money's worth for all those Bitcoin. So yeah, I want my Bitcoin back. I want the original back. So this way I could get the forks if I want to. And if you're going to pay me, then pay me for the price of Bitcoin that it is today, or at the time of me receiving my payment, plus all the forks. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. All right. So again, it's just funny that these things are happening now, within a month or so of the Bitcoin halving. And especially, these guys right here, they're scammers, and I forgot this part, returning victims' funds from MtGox has been dogged with difficulty from slow Japanese court proceedings to owner Mark Karpales, I don't know how to pronounce his last name here, misleading investigators on the financial situation, all right, because scammers will scam. The controversial ex-CEO has largely avoided consequences for his part in the hack. So he has some kind of part to play in it. Last week, he called on a U.S. District Court to drop the final charge against him. The case is still ongoing. So, no, dude, you have to pay some kind of retribution. Either you pay up personally, because I'm pretty sure he still has Bitcoin from, the time that the hack happened. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Scammers will scam. All right. But the point is, we have thousands of people out there that are still waiting to get their Bitcoin back, and they can't get it back because you have an ex-CEO lying about different situations, and we have the slow-ass Japanese courts not giving back the people their Bitcoin. They're trying to hold the Bitcoin themselves. All right, they're trying to hold the Bitcoin themselves, keep it themselves, because they've been actually selling off the Bitcoin at some point in time in the past, and people call them out on it. Again, because with a blockchain, especially the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see all the transactions happening live and full effect. All right. So let's have a discussion again in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this MtGox situation coming out right about now, right before the Bitcoin halving. We have the Alipay being China's only third party or secondary issuer of China's CBDC, and they've filed for patents within a month or within the last month or so. And then now we learned that the U.S. government pretty much already have wallets, digital wallets for all their citizens. How long have they been working on this? No one's going to ask that question. Everybody's just going to be looking like, give me my wallet and give me my digital money. But let's have that discussion in the comment section below. It's your boy Sergeant Crypto. Thanks for watching. Please smash the likes, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and share this video. It's your boy Sergeant Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.